How's it, everybody? And a warm welcome to the NFT show. I'm your host, Philip Kalinko. I've got Kate with me. Tonight, we're going to be covering all the latest news. Ethereum Merge,
I'm
less than
backstage
1
right now.
away.
Oh, there I am. What's up? What's up?
How are you, my brother?
Yo.
Ethereum Merge. This is the last Freestyle Friday before we are now going to be on Proof of Stake.
To a party, bro. Where's the pizza at?
We'll get it. We have to get Chipotle. We got ENS
shit,
names. ENS names trending. Dust Labs raised $7 million. We got PUMA launching some teasers. NBA coming into NFTs again. Ape DAO concerns. David Bowie coming into NFTs. We got LG coming into NFTs. We've got Netflix banning some crypto commercials. So lots and lots of news to cover and get into. So let's get straight into it.
Let's do it. I'm gonna share this.
If you haven't already, please follow NFT Show as well as the George Kingdom. A reminder that anything we say is not financial advice. We are not financial advisors, and you should always do your own research. With that said, let's get straight into it. Market update. If we have a look here, yesterday OpenSea volume was 15.8 million, which is actually quite good. Day before was 14, day before was 12. That's definitely good to see, a little bit of a spike there. But if we have a look here at all the different marketplaces, you can see that Magic Eden is making moves here. I mean, Magic Eden did 5 million yesterday, which is half of OpenSea, and the day before they actually matched or slightly did better than OpenSea, which is quite incredible to see. We've got X2Y2 that did just under 2 million, Immutable X just over 1 million, Block Bay 1 million, Looks Rare 650,000, and then a whole lot of others over there. If we add it together, you get to about $25 million in the last 24 hours. Wow.
Oh shit.
Let's fucking go, Cade.
Wow, that is fucking weird to see.
Yeah, I mean, this is big gains. We got Bitcoin up 10% in the last 24 hours. We've got Ethereum up 5%. Everything across the board except for Luna C. But the other Luna is up to 200x. I mean, so much going on here. So, I mean, the idea that I've been hearing, the reason that we had Powell talk, we then had a little bit of a dump, we had a bit of a market dump on the S&P, and then all of a sudden this massive reversal is that China released their inflation numbers. And they said that it was around 2%, a lot better than expected. And that's really caused the markets to rally. That's the main reason behind it, including the NASDAQ, the S&P 500, and everything else is really, really doing well today. That after a week of it really not doing well. And I think the one thing that's really important to say here is that it is known that the Chinese government sort of make their numbers whatever they want their numbers to be. So that's known. No, I don't think anyone doubts that. So it's weird to see such a huge reaction when it's like generally accepted, but I'm not complaining. Good to see. We've got everything up across the board. Microsoft up 2.5%, Google over 2%, Meta, which is Facebook, up 4%, Apple 2%, Amazon 2.5%, and so on and so forth. So the market today has been really, really good.
Yeah, it's been crazy, dude. That is wild. I haven't even been, the last couple days I've been all in on, dude, things are so much harder to do in real, like when you're actually doing it, than it is when you're reading about it. Like I was doing my my website for the close, which is just now live as of like 2 hours ago, and oh my fucking god, that took so much fucking work. God.
Yeah, it's not easy, but it's well worth it. A big congratulations, Kate. That's a massive step, and it's necessary. But I'm really, really proud of you, and may it bring you lots of happipiness and joy and success.
Thank you, bro. Yeah, I really just I wrote this. I wrote like an entire page of like journaling stuff right after, because like I did it. It felt kind of rushed, and I was just like airing out my thoughts on it. And I'm just glad to have had the first one at least sort of done. I'm just like, okay, it's finished. I can kind of look back now in more of like a not spiritual way, but I can look at it and say, okay, it's out, like it's public, it's live, so anyone can go and get it. So now it's like I can kind of in my head say, okay, so I can look back and say, what can I have done better? And I'm like, okay, well, I wouldn't have rushed
constantly,
it, just like had it
constantly
out.
evolve.
Yeah,
But you can constantly change it and improve it. And often just taking the first step, even if it's not perfect, is the best thing. So do me a favor, Kate, just drop the website in the comments, in the public comments. And anyone who wants to, you can go check out Kate's new website. Lots of cool merch and stuff like that.
Yeah, I'll drop the shop link, and then actually no, never mind. I'll just do it right now.
And then what's trending in the last 24 hours on OpenSea? We got spells at number 1. I haven't heard anything about it. I've got no idea what it is. Kate, do you know what spells is?
I've not heard anything about that one.
Don't know that one. ENS name services, we're actually going to discuss in a lot of detail a bit later in the show. We got Utes, the secondary mint by D-Guards, still holding strong at 145 Solana. We got ABC, another Solana project that has been doing incredibly well. The general consensus here is that what happened was a lot of guys minted Utes, sold, made a profit, and then have been pouring it into other projects on Solana, which is why we've seen Magic Eden have such a great pump that they have had. So yeah, that's good to see. We've got CryptoPunks at number 5. We've got Bored Ape Yacht Club down substantially at 72 Ethereum at number 6. But remember, ETH is quite high at 1,700. Hey?
Sure.
We got Utility Ape at 4.89, Solana. Other deeds which have been seeing quite a lot of action. There was a whale that swept $2 million worth of other deeds 2 days ago, and that's seen a bit of a pump over there. We've got Mutants down all the way at 12 Ethereum. Crypto Simiji at 0.1. I'm going to be covering this one in detail on Wednesday's show. We've got Clone X sitting at 6. We got Tykes sitting at 2.39. The Unveiled, another Solana project at 1.75. Metropolis sitting at 0.14. I'm going to be covering this on Wednesday as well. And Jadu Ava, the aviators for the Jadu brand, which I'm quite bullish on, sitting at 0.24. If we just jump onto Fips.finance and have a look at what's trending the last 24 hours, sorted by volume, can see Bored Ape hasn't changed, 0% changed. Other D down 5%. Mutants down 5%. Crypto Simiji down 32%. Clone X sitting pretty even. Digi Daigaku up 13%. Moonbirds up down 4%. 10KTF Stockroom up 4%. Genuine Undead down 17%. Rare Ape Yacht Club down 15%, and so on and so forth. So we do have some movers over here. Does look like we got an equal amount of red and green. As you get to the lower value projects, it does seem like we got more red than green. What do you think, Kate?
Well, I mean, I haven't been keeping too much up with the new projects as of recent. I've been really focusing on the different style of content that I've been working on, trying to build out the foundation. It feels very much like Philip, which is actually kind of weird. I didn't really think about it until just now when I was about to say it. It feels just like when I started doing the reviews in September, and I was like, okay, like this brutally honest reviews that I'm doing, they seem to be doing all right. I seem to be getting some kind of a flow here. It looks good. I like filming them. It's interesting. It's fun. It's a challenge. And it feels like that right now for my like news and market trends and trending stories videos where I'm adding in little segments from Web3 world into it, because part of it is because it's like a new thing, but also I'm able to now use all my skills I learned from soundbite editing, where it was really easy because I could just go into my podcast and just pull clips out. But now I have to go into my YouTube videos where I'm covering stuff that I'm not filming for sound bites, but then I go and clip it up as a soundbite. And those sound bites have been doing really well too. So I'm like, holy shit, like all this work I've been putting in has all kind of led to this new style of content. It's very new. So I just been focusing on that. And then obviously the clothes, but.
And the website, yeah.
Yeah.
No, that's cool. That's why you got Uncle Philip here to tell you if there's anything interesting going on. Thanks. All right. So the big story in the space. We are 4.5 days away from the Ethereum merge. Okay, so I want to talk about this a little bit, dive a bit deep. If anyone has any comments or questions about this, please let me know, because I've been doing quite a lot of research, and if there's anything you're unsure of regarding the ETH merge, I'll be happy to try and answer. But basically, it's going to happen at a specific block, And because of the level of difficulty, this block is pretty much guaranteed. And the date that we have here, which should be pretty accurate, is Thursday, September the 15th at 12 o'clock UTC time. Okay. And that is when the merge is going to officially happen. You may have, and we have had certain exchanges come out and say outright that they're stopping Ethereum trading during that time, very temporarily as a precaution. So you may have certain exchanges that won't allow you to trade ETH for a couple of minutes. If something goes wrong, there may be a couple of hours. But all the testing that they've been doing on testnets and Robertsham and everything like that have come back with a 95% positive rate, and all they need for a successful merge is just over 60%. So they do seem to have, everything well in control. With that said, this is technology, and it's high-level technology, and there's always a chance of something going wrong with any tech, let alone with very serious tech like this. So we never really know what's going to happen, but what we do know is that they've done as many tests as they can. Also, this is not an event that when we get to this, we are finished. There's going to be the splurge and the merge. After the merge, they've got the purge and the splurge and God knows what else. So this is one step in it. So you're probably not going to see any change once it's happened as far as speeds or gas or anything like that.
Nah, dude, we're going to the moon. As soon as that merge happens, we're mooning. ETH to 200K.
So they did successfully do the Bellatrix activation. That was successful, and that's really good and something that's good to see. And then once we move on to proof of stake, most major exchanges will only support proof of stake, which is the new Ethereum. However, there will be some exchanges that support Ethereum proof of work, which will be the old Ethereum. Now, honestly, from everyone I've spoken to, and I actually called a mate of mine who's very big on crypto today to discuss this with him, so that I can make sure I can give you good information. And he said, honestly, unless you know exactly what you're doing, the opportunity to pick up proof of work Ethereum and trade it successfully at a good price that makes it worth your time is very small, unless you are literally, very well versed in this and first to get there. So currently they've got it at $26.10, the proof of work Ethereum. But this is just like a futures on the stock exchange. This is not an actual price, because as it stands now, there is no proof of work. So this actually means absolutely nothing. It's just a futures, and no one really knows. But most guys who know what they're talking about says it's really a complete waste of time to try and take advantage of proof of work. The opportunity window will be tiny, and it's really a complete waste of time. With that said, we are going to see a whole lot of scams come up that you've got to be prepared for. So I don't know if you remember when we went from Bitcoin to Bitcoin Cash. What happened was, there were all these articles about how Bitcoin Cash is better than Bitcoin and going to be the new Bitcoin. And there were some people who didn't know what they were doing that ended up aping into Bitcoin Cash. And we've seen where Bitcoin Cash has ended up. So that's going to be the same. You're going to have a whole lot of people trying to tell you that proof of work is the future. Buy proof of work. They might even have things that aren't really proof of work that they want to sell you in return for your new proof of stake Ethereum. Just don't get involved with anyone whatsoever. That's my best advice. Don't listen to anything, any major exchange like your MetaMask, your Coinbase, anything like that. You won't know any difference. Your Ethereum will still be there. It will now just be proof of stake Ethereum. OpenSea said that they're supporting proof of stake, so all your NFTs will be there, just one copy of them. They will be proof of stake. In theory, there might be duplicates of all your NFTs on proof of work that exchanges that are not OpenSea might allow you to access, and therefore you might have people selling CryptoPunks on proof of work and pretending that they are on proof of stake. So
that's really interesting.
Be really, really careful about doing anything. I would only use the exchanges that you're familiar with, like your OpenSea, for NFT trading. Don't let someone DM you and offer you a Bored Ape Yacht Club at 20% under floor and think that it is now the new Bored Ape Yacht Club on proof of stake. It's probably just going to be a proof of work copy, which I don't think will have any long-term value.
Could you imagine if they did and you got like a massive discount and then they pumped to like something crazy and now there's like, what would happen if they doubled every collection, if everything doubled, you know? That'd be kind of weird.
So in theory it will, but in order to see the proof of work NFTs, you'll have to put, like you do with Polygon, into your MetaMask a custom RMTP, and then you'll see it. But so I'm saying that the average guy is not going to know any difference. In OpenSea, it will all be proof of stake, and none of it will be proof of work. If you really want to search for it, there might be digital copies that you could get by putting the correct network in there. But I'll
there is some
involved in it.
There's some interesting. So for most people, nothing's going to change. You go like onto Coinbase, like you look at Ethereum, is still there. Now, for most people who are potentially looking to swing trade this, it's not smart if you're using one of the centralized exchanges because they've already come out publicly and said they're likely going to have to pause everything for like for example, sometimes when I get paid in Ethereum. And typically, if I want that money out, I'll just transfer to Coinbase and then withdraw it. But right now, I'm probably just going to use Binance because Coinbase, like, I don't trust Coinbase. I don't know when they're going to like stop it. And I just don't want to like have my money locked up in the Coinbase. Then Ethereum takes like a massive plunge or something. So I'm probably just going to use Binance or something like that where I can withdraw. And then also, I don't know if you heard about this. This might be something you're covering. OpenSea using potentially some type of Ethereum token thing that it's not exactly an OpenSea token, but it's kind of like an Ethereum token that people can use and stake it on OpenSea as an Ethereum style of token, and people can essentially use their, I forget if it's the proof of stake or the proof of work. I'm pretty sure it's proof of stake. But what they're saying is you can stake your Ethereum on OpenSea and also use that same Ethereum to trade NFTs and stuff, something like that. I don't know. It's like a super new story. I heard about it on TikTok like literally an hour before I jumped on stream. So I don't have any more. I don't think there's any information after that. So.
Well, let us know next week once you find out more. I haven't heard that yet. Obviously, one of the things about the proof of stake Ethereum is that it is going to be deflationary, and there will be ways to stake it. Also, if you've got staked ETH on proof of work, you're not going to be able to now touch it. Let's say it's staked for another 6 months. You're not going to all of a sudden be able to touch it. Everything's going to stay the same. But they are incentivizing you to stake on proof of stake Ethereum. So it's going to be interesting to see what happens. I'm not doing anything. I'm not going to try game the system. I don't think I'm skilled enough to do so, and I'm just going to be extra vigilant for those couple of days. A few hours before the merge and a couple of days after the merge. Not interested in doing any trades on X2Y2 where they list a private offer, because you could possibly see the NFT there that's on proof of work without knowing that it's proof of work, and then end up buying something that's not real. So just be careful. That's the important message to all of our viewers.
Yeah.
All right. So the last 24 hours, we have seen ENS domains, which were covered before, the number one most traded collection, which is quite incredible when you think that the floor price of the average one is under 0.01 Ethereum. They have traded a total volume of 60,000 Ethereum. And what they've released in the last couple of days is a new set of names with the $ in front of the name. So now you've got everyone who initially, went in and bought the Apple.eth and Microsoft.eth and Metaverse.eth and Apecoin.eth, now quickly running and buying $Apecoin.eth and Microsoft.eth.
I'm gonna have to buy my own. I'm gonna have to buy money sign Joyage now. I'm not kidding. What is the website for that? Is ENS.com or something, or ENS? There it is. Unbelievable. You got it. Dude. Unbelievable.
It's ENS.domains. So they've seen a huge thing as a result of that, a huge surge as people are now trying to get it. So they actually flipped Bored Ape Yacht Club in the highest sales in the last 24 hours. Their volume just in the last week exceeded 2,300 Ethereum, which equates to $3.75 million. And that's a 43% increase week on week. So that's 9,000 individual domain names have changed hands in the last week. And that equates to 16 Bored Ape NFTs, which is hilarious. And that's because of the average floor price, So very interesting with this $ in front of it. Look, I think unless you really early and know what to get, very difficult to choose the right ones. But their statistics are incredible. What they've been able to turn over in the last couple of months. They've been around for a very long time, but people only really got involved in them in the last 6 months or so.
Yeah.
So it's incredible to see. I mean, there's over 500,000 unique holders. So that's a lot of people. I mean, if you think about it, we say that there's 2 million wallets that OpenSea knows of. So that's like a quarter, but everyone's got more than one wallet. So it's really interesting to see.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy.
Yeah. And you can buy them. They're very cheap to buy, 0.01 or something like that.
It's basically, a lot of them are basically free too. If you found one that hasn't been like taken, it's free, right? Or it's you're going to pay like $10, right? You're going to pay like nothing basically.
Yeah, not much. Plus gas, right?
Mm.
Yeah, so it is really, really cheap. So very, very interesting. I mean, if we want to jump onto activity and just look at the highest last sales, might be interesting to look at. Sales.
It's interesting about ENS that I think is you almost like can't buy it and list it for 40 ETH. Like it almost has to go through a couple big sales before a massive sale happens. Like when people say, that guy sold for 100 ETH. The first guy should have listed 100 ETH. It's like, yeah, but I don't know if it would have sold at 100 ETH if it hadn't previously sold at 5 ETH, 25 ETH. You know what I mean? What do you think about that?
It depends. I don't necessarily agree. Like, if someone wanted, let's just say, porno.eth for an example, I don't think he's looking at the trading history. I don't think he cares if it's traded hands 10 times and slowly gone up, or if it's like just traded, been minted. He'll put in an offer.
True.
And if he accepts it, he accepts it. Where that might have validity, Kate, where it might be correct is because I paid 10 ETH for porno.eth, I'm only going to sell it at 15 or 20 ETH. Whereas if I paid 0.01, I might sell it at 5 ETH, or I might list it at 5 ETH maybe. But I don't think so. I think the guys who are spending, like if you look here, someone put a 420 Ethereum offer, which was accepted, this is the highest sale though, hey? Which was accepted on paradigm.eth.
Wow.
420 ETH, and that was an offer. So, I mean, whether the guy paid 1 or 10 for this, he's going to, these guys wanted this domain. And then 000.eth, the last sale was 300 Ethereum.
Oh my God. I wonder what 666 ETH sold for.
We'll probably get there. Porno.eth, 184 Ethereum.
Who the fuck is buying that, dude? Who the fuck is buying porno.eth?
Do you remember, Cade, the first time you ever went on the internet in your life? Do you remember?
I don't remember the first time I went on the internet. I remember the first time.
Do you remember what you searched for?
Nah, but I remember the first time I searched up titties and stuff. But
yeah, I searched for Pamela Anderson. That was my very first search. I don't know. In my day, she was like, it was either her or Cindy Crawford. Those were the two people. So porno.eth. I mean, So
and you said money signs are selling. It doesn't look like it's an option here.
Yeah, they've launched it. $, and then the name.
Can I see an example of one? Because I just tried to search it and it says it's like not available. And I typed in like third. It's a money sign word on the app.ens.
Yeah.
All right, maybe someone bought it.
Crypto, No, but it can be money sign and then any word you want, right?
Well, yeah, but like someone, like I'm looking at Joyage and it's like not a valid domain. So money sign Joyage. Let me try another one. See, someone bought the other. Yeah, it doesn't look like you can just type in money sign word.
Maybe it's word money sign at the end. I don't know.
That might be it.
Try.
I mean, if it's that, I'm not going to buy it. I just figured I would buy it in case I do a Joyage token.
No, eventually. I'm pretty sure it was money sign in the front. But you're right. I don't see any. Maybe they're going to be launching it and they announced that they were going to be launching it.
Where did you hear it? Where did you hear that about it?
I was listening to a podcast and they were saying that you can now.
Okay. Got it.
So I'm pretty sure it's coming. If it's not here already, which maybe is, or maybe it's hashtag, bro. Because look here, here's a hashtag.
Is it a hashtag, you think?
There's a hashtag, but I don't know if that's the new one. But you can do a hashtag. Let's have a look. No. See, it doesn't come up if you search this way. But this one here, if you go down here, is definitely was definitely hashtag. Let's go sort by highest last sale just to show you. And then we'll jump onto the next one. Okay, they're coming for you, brother. They're coming for you. I definitely saw a hashtag.
Damn, dude, someone got Google.eth. Fuck. I wonder when those things were bought, like when these big ones were bought, you know?
So this was out many years ago. A lot of very clever guys were buying them up for a long time, many years.
Fuck. Man.
Yeah.
Dude, being early to NFT or crypto is just it pays so many dividends. That's crazy.
Yeah, but I do think that there will be opportunities now also, because you know, we're still pretty early, but yeah, there were some amazing opportunities, but I do think there will be future ones as well. I don't think we're too late for new opportunities, right?
Sure.
All right, you ready for the next story?
I'm ready.
Okay, so Dust Labs. So this is the company behind the behind the DeGods and Utes ecosystem. They raised $7 million to build up the Dollar Dust, their coin ecosystem. I stand corrected, but I did hear from a good source that it was 10%, which values them at 70 million. And if you think that, you know, they really don't have any real product or service that they're offering yet, it's quite incredible. And yes, everyone heard that Digidaigaku raised 200 million and they're like, 7 million, what's that? But if you think about it, it's a project that's been around 9 months on the Solana blockchain and was nothing 9 months ago, and has now been valued at $70 million. I mean, that's incredible. And in real life, if you built a $70 million business in less than a year, you would be really, well revered. So it's quite funny in the space because we hear such big numbers. When we hear 7 million, everyone sort of scoffs at it. But this is huge, and I really think it's a tribute to them. So we would like to announce that they received a strategic round, which is just before the proper funding of 7 million to build out the Dust ecosystem, AMA with Front DeGods. And here you can see some of the venture capitalists that took part in it, including FTX Ventures and some other big names over there, including Magic Eden, which is really, really good to see. And a big congratulations to them. And if we just jump onto Magic Eden, just to have a look at the floor price of Utes, slowly coming down, which is to be expected.
Yeah, their hype has died pretty big. I mean, it was everywhere for a while.
It's not just the hype; it's the fact that now there's 15,000 in circulation, right? So the supply is higher. So you got so many more people that are able to sell now, right? And they're still doing their sales, but like any project, this is what happens. There's huge hype, and slowly it comes down. It will find a floor somewhere. I don't know where that is, but in 2-3 weeks we'll be able to see where that floor is. But a big congratulations. I mean, honestly and truly, 15,000 supply at about 0.3 or 0.4 Ethereum in this market is really impressive. Very impressive. So congratulations to them, and I think that they're definitely doing something right, even though Frank refuses to show his face, which I don't like.
It's weird.
I don't know, Kate. I've had a couple of guys want to come on the show, and they've said they won't show their face, and I've said no. I've seen your show. You've had some people who you kept docs. I don't know. I'm not comfortable with it. If you're not comfortable enough to show your face, what are you hiding? And I don't want to promote you. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong.
I don't know. I've done it. It depends on who they are. Like with Voltaire, I didn't give a fuck, dude. Like I don't care. I'd just rather just have Voltaire on the show. It helps my credibility. So if it helps me more than it helps them, and they also want to be anonymous, then I'm like whatever. But if it's one of those things where I'm doing them a favor and they're doing something anonymous or something, then it's like I guess maybe just do it on Twitter Spaces at that point. Like there's no reason to do on YouTube. They're not going to show their face. But also interesting thing. In regards to Solana, well, actually, something with the ENS thing. Is there a SNS like Solana name service right now, or like Cardano name service? Do they have that for all the blockchains?
It's a good question. I don't know.
Okay, and then
And
second one,
if they don't, Cade, we should fucking do it immediately.
I'm not kidding, because that's like I'm gonna look it up right while we're doing this. But also with Solana, when I was listening to Frank's podcast, he was talking about it, and he actually made some good pointers, so especially about the idea that normal people can the normie people go to Solana first, is what he was, or maybe that's not true, but more normal people show up in the Solana blockchain, Elrond blockchain, Cardano blockchain, because it's easier, it's faster. Maybe it's not easier. It's faster, it's cheaper. There's more normal people on there. Like a $200 mint doesn't happen on Elrond. It's like $10. Yeah. But then it shoots to 200, and everyone's like, wow, it's like a big thing. And I was like, yo, that actually sounds kind of fun, especially right now. Like, I don't feel like playing around with $200, $300, $500. Like, I'm down to like chuck $10, $20. Like, it sounds interesting to me, especially because when I was in September of last year, when I found Sydney Espo's NFTs for $10, and I bought like 10 or 20 of them, or it was like 10 of them, and they went from nothing, and there was a ton of them, to being sold out because of a viral video, and the floor went from $10 to 5,000, I think, like overnight, something crazy like that, and I didn't sell any of them because I thought she was going to become Beeple, and so I didn't sell any of them.
Billion. But it's very interesting. I think a couple of things is that, like, when I came into NFTs, which was about May or June last year, there was no Magic Eden. So, like, if you wanted NFTs, you sort of went to OpenSea. That was pretty much it. So I don't really have the experience of being new and having a choice whether to do Solana or Ethereum. I must be honest, I would probably choose Sol. I would rather have lower risk, lower priced items, and maybe once I'm comfortable on Sol, go and buy blue chip on Ethereum. You know what I mean? But it's hard to know, because when I came, there was no Magic Eden. I mean, Magic Eden only came out sort of November last year or whatever it may be. But I think there's a lot of merit to having a cheaper ecosystem where you still get community, you still get
a lot of community, dude. The community is like, he was saying that he's like on Twitter Spaces for Solana. He goes, they're way more fun than an Ethereum Twitter Space. And I was like, bro, honestly, like,
they all got their tits out and dancing around. No, look, we're gonna have a little bit of. We gotta, you'd fit right in.
I'm telling you, I'm gonna start learning. I'm gonna jump onto Elrond. I got some friends who are deep in the Elrond ecosystem, who are working in the Elrond ecosystem. I got some friends who are working in the well, actually, I don't know anyone in the Cardano ecosystem, but I have some friends in the Solana ecosystem. Plus, it's free, fun content. It's like something new to jump into. Yeah, and the thing about community, it's way stronger on Solana or Cardano because it's smaller, and because they have to fight off all the people talking shit about them. He was like, that's how it is right now. Like, I'm thinking about going straight into Cardano Elrond and skipping Solana, because Solana's already on its way.
No, leave Cardano alone.
What about Elrond? The Elrond community is strong as fuck right now.
No, sorry. I'll agree with you up until Solana, right? I'm not letting you go down there. I mean, just go buy something on Dollar Doom or something. Right? No, I'm not interested. No Cardano, nothing. I'm sorry. Solana, yes, and I think Solana you'll get good content there as well, as far as projects, whatever. If you try to do a video on a Cardano project, bro, no one gives a fuck. I don't even know. Sure. No, not Immutable X, not Cardano, but Solana.
Damn it, dude.
Solana,
so there is a Solana ENS thing, or SNS. It's on bonfida.org. So I'm looking up some. I'm looking up DeGods right now. It's already fucking taken by them, but I'm looking up some random shit.
Look up some stuff.
Dude, imagine if Utes wasn't taken. My God.
So we got PUMA. So this is interesting. I'm a PUMA holder. You guys know that I'm very, very into my Web3, Web2 brands, clothing brands specifically, because I think the product fit between a PUMA, Adidas, Nike, and the metaverse is obvious. So, if this metaverse thing is a thing in the future, which Mark Zuckerberg, has got a lot more money than me and a lot more brains than me, believes it is, right? Whether you like him or not, he's investing tens of billions of dollars every single year, and has been for the last 5 years, as well as many other very smart people believe in some form the metaverse is the future. Obviously, you got Sandbox, Decentraland, all of that, right? So if we believe that, right, whether it's in a year or 10 years, that there will be some sort of metaverse where people want to be, then it makes complete sense that just like in real life, I like to wear my fancy watch and my fancy jersey and my fancy shoes, that in the metaverse, I want to wear my fancy watch, my fancy jersey, and my fancy shoes. And when you've got brands like Nike, Puma, and Adidas who are huge in the real world and have a huge amount of money and reputation to uphold, and you have someone like a Nike who was the first mover come in and say that they've made just under $200 million in the last 12 months in NFTs, which is like a proof of concept. There is no question that you're then going to have Puma, Adidas also paying attention and saying, look, if we deliver value to holders here, we too could do 200 million next year, and who knows what in the future. So right. I'm bullish on Puma, Adidas, and Nike. I hold all of them. So they launched their Black Station metaverse for holders. I'm going to take you into it because I am a holder and it's not on my ledger, so you're not going to have any problems. So let's go in. Okay, and let's show you. So you go in and they're basically revealing, let me just show you, but they're revealing the two styles of shoes that they're going to be dropping. It's going to be a free drop. I don't know when the snapshot is or was. I don't know if there is even a snapshot and you just need the NFT. I don't know. So just don't go and buy it off the floor without asking in their Discord. Let's just wait for it to load. But you will, for anyone who's a holder at the time of the snapshot, if there is a snapshot, will get a free to claim shoe and another NFT. So a physical shoe and another NFT as well. So this is their way that they're launching it. It's going to be launched in the next couple of days. Okay, I'm going to switch my sound off here. All right, so Kate, I'm going to take us and make us smaller. There we go. All right, so we basically enter here, right?
This is cool. Used to this. I like this style.
Okay, I think I need to click on it. I was on the wrong screen. Let's see. Oh, it's not responding very well. Can you still hear me, Kate?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay, the website's not happy. Well, I'm clicking. Okay, there we go. It's sort of like I click and 10 minutes later it's moving. I think because it's 3D and because I've got so much running.
Yeah, probably. It's going to be hard to show. Okay, so can you show it on your phone or something maybe?
No, I won't be able to. Oh, okay. No, I want you to see the shoe, though. You got to see the shoe. So hold on. Let's do that. It's really not happy, hey. It's really not happy. Like my finger's flat and it's not moving at all. You can see the Puma logo there at least. Yeah. Okay, it's not doing anything, bro. Let's try just go there straight away and see if it takes us. All right, and we just have to move closer to it and it comes out. There we go. And it's lost it again. There we go. Okay, this one seems to be responding a lot more than the other one was. Okay, let's go more, and then it's going to show you. So here's the design of the one shoe. It's called the Nitro. So this is their entry into the metaverse. Trying to keep it straight for you.
Yeah, I can see it. Looks good.
Yeah, I think it's quite nice. Let's go to the Inferno one here. I wonder, like, the level of customization of it. I think there's going to be this is the base shoe, but there's going to be quite a lot of customization that you can do to it. So I don't think there's only two shoe styles. I think this is what they look like, but the color combinations and whatever will all change. Okay, this is the second style over here. I will, if you let me. This one looks like a car to me. What do you think, Kate?
I It looks ridiculous, but I like shit like that. I don't like the Yeezys, right? Like the Yeezys that look similar to that. People either fuck with the heavy or think they're the stupidest thing ever. I think they're cool. I like them. I think that's cooler than the first shoe.
Yeah, I don't know that you're going to really wear them. I think these will be collector's items more than anything else.
Yeah, probably.
But I've seen your slippers, Kate. So I know that you've got a different style to most. Let me just close this before it disconnects me. All right, so that's their Black Station. It's their first move into the metaverse, right? And they did showcase it at Fashion Week as well. Just make the image bigger. Should help you guys to see it easily. Yeah, we could have avoided all of that.
Yeah, I definitely like the other one. Yeah, that one's okay, but I don't know. Yeah, that one's cool. That looks like a car, or like a rocket.
It does look like a car. Yeah.
I like it.
Very, very cool. So yeah, look, good to see them in the game. They say it's going to be accessible from the 7th, which is the website, and then within a week will be able to actually claim it. Anyone who minted a Nitro Pass can receive 2 NFTs, one tied to the physical product and one that unlocks a customized experience linked to their chosen shoe. Following the show, minters can claim their physical sneakers by burning their product claimed NFT. This marks uncharted territory for the brand in the Web3 space, establishing its first PUMA-owned NFT that links digital design with real-life physical products. So the nice thing that I like over here is that they haven't wasted any time. If we look at it compared to an Adidas, who unfortunately have wasted a lot of time, these guys only dropped their Nitro token, I think, about a month ago, and here they're already launching merch through it.
Nice.
So I like that. I'm really quite happy with that, and I like that they're charting their own territory. They're doing it their own way, which you would expect from a huge Web2 brand like this. And yeah, definitely one to watch out for. And I'm bullish. I like all of these brands.
Yeah, I think that's really, really cool. Also, you'd be happy to know, I don't know if you even knew this, but did you know that the Joyous Kingdom duffel bag is Adidas? Did I tell you about that?
No, I know the clothing is Champion.
Well, not the shirts, but the hoodie and the crew neck are Champion. But I rolled with Adidas. Have you seen it? The Adidas duffel bag, dude. It's like actually, I actually am working with Adidas for the duffel bag. It's actually super sad. I've been using it as a gym bag for the past few days.
I'm a good guy to show. I sell duffel bags. So I can give a good critique. Guys, I see the 7 of you guys here. If you haven't already, if you're enjoying the content, do give us a like and a subscribe, and feel free. It's Freestyle like Friday. Chat to us in the chat. Feel free to chat to us. Don't be shy. Not much of a script.
Bag.
Oh, hold on. Oh, sorry, Kate, I lost you. Just wait. There we go. All right.
So let's see. It's got the Adidas lines under it. It is actually like this is not like Alibaba Adidas. This is actually Adidas because the service I work with works with Adidas as one of the options, but it's a premium obviously because it's more expensive. But very basic. I mean, I don't like big designs. Like you guys said, all my clothes are the same. It's like either
does it have an Adidas? Does it have an Adidas thing inside of it?
It did. Label. It has the tag. It has this tag on it. I ripped it off, and then it has the label here. Yeah.
Does it say Adidas?
Yep.
Okay, good.
Yeah, no, this is legitimate.
You know why? Because I'll just tell you, like, usually brands like Adidas, any of them, it doesn't matter who it is, do not allow co-branding on their products.
Yeah.
Without special permission. So I just hope that these guys have given you proper, legitimate Adidas.
Printful works with them. They have some kind of arrangement with them, and so when you're selling clothes at Printful, everything's custom made, and so it's just being made by the same people who make Adidas. It's just I think they realized that, like with other clothes, you can. My girlfriend in high school did this. She would basically just rip off Gymshark and just go some other country that basically makes the exact same thing, just isn't Gymshark. And I think maybe they're opening up to the idea because everyone's doing that now. Like, I don't know if you knew, but like the fitness industry specifically, everyone sells their own clothes and they all have the same exact style blend and everything because everyone knows what everyone else is using. They just go through another site. And so I think Printful just was like, fuck it, let's just work with Adidas. And so, yeah, I was actually surprised too. Like the fact that Champion's logo is on the Joyous Kingdom thing is like wild to me, and it's the actual same material. But I think they were just like, fuck it, everyone's using our stuff anyway. We might as well just put our logo on it so people know.
It's interesting. So, look, there are some brands that we allow to do that with. So I know what you mean, like Schlesinger, for example. I can brand anyone's logo on the Schlesinger products, and US Basic as well. So yeah, I mean, I guess it just depends. But just make sure if you're paying Adidas pricing, just make sure it's legitimate Adidas. Is all I'm worried about. Yeah.
It's expensive though. Like the duffel bag itself is like, I think I pay like $50 or $60 for it, and then on the website it's like $70 or $75. So like all this clothes I'm selling, it's like it's not making me like any money really. Like I make like $10 to $20 profit on basically any of the items.
It gets the name, gets your name out there. That's the point, and leaves a good impression to anyone that receives it, which is what you want for it. 100%. All right, NBA teams up with Sorare for fantasy NFT game.
Nice, hell yeah.
So the NBA and the National Basketball Players Association just announced that they're partnering with Web3 company Sorare for the first non-fungible token-based fantasy basketball game. Sorare is an NFT trading and fantasy sports platform that's valued at $4.3 billion last year. The Web3 company currently has deals with Major League Baseball and Major League Soccer and holds licenses with over 280 international soccer clubs and leagues, including Germany, Italy, and Spain. The new NFT game is expected to launch around the time of NBA's season opener on October the 18th, though details of the deal are yet to be released. What is known is that the game will be free to anyone 18 years or older. It will allow users to create teams based on NFT cards or individual players and earn points based on how their players perform on the court. The NBA and NBPA are no strangers to Web3, as we all know. In 2019, the league partners with Dapper Labs to develop NBA Top Shot, an NFT marketplace that lets users buy, sell, and trade NBA highlights and moments. And listen, Top Shot did really well until they didn't anymore. I think they just like diluted it to such a degree, and it sort of became cash grabby that it just didn't work. But at the time, NBA Top Shot was the thing, So yeah, I mean, this is pretty cool. Also, the PGA Tour has closed a deal with Sorare that allows golfers to earn royalties from NFTs on their platform. So it's nice to see we've got sports coming into the space thick and fast. Also baseball began working with Sorare, and Sorare seem to be the guys to go to if their niche seems to be that if you're a sports brand, a big sports association, and you want to get into NFTs, these guys seem to be the guys to go to for that.
Yeah, that's very, very cool stuff. Yeah, I think it's dope. I think it's cool. We just saw, we're seeing, at least I am on my timeline, I'm seeing lots of companies. It's almost as if the NFT bear market's like not happening, because I just haven't seen a lack of companies talking about NFTs. Like the attention from retail really isn't there, and like search volume isn't really there, but companies are like not leaving the space. So I'm like, okay, people, that's a fucking sign right there. If major companies are still doing stuff, they haven't left.
And venture capitalists are pouring billions into the space in the last month alone.
Yeah, like these are the guys with the money.
You know what I think, and I'm just thinking about it with you, and I'm thinking of it as you said. I think that businesses are used to having ups and downs, recessions, things like that. Every couple of years it happens, business goes down, and it always comes up, right? I'm saying in real world financial recessions. And so the experienced companies know that this is a good time to maybe get better deals than you would get otherwise, to enter space, to put money towards marketing, because all the smaller players, much smaller players, get scared. This might be their first real recession. The first thing they stop, the smaller brands, is marketing. They're not interested anymore. But the bigger brands say, okay, well, now there's more marketing space available, and they push during these times because they know that they're going to come out the other side. Right?
So that's why I'm so big on people just putting in work right now. I'm like, this is like, I know people don't want to, but I'm like, guys, you can set up your whole fucking life. Like people don't like right now. Like I said earlier in the stream, I'm kicking myself for not getting into crypto earlier. There was opportunities for me where I literally had a guy like in college. Did I tell you about this story? This guy did a speech about Bitcoin in 2016 or something. And I remember sitting there, listening to the whole thing because he was in my class, listened to the whole thing. At the end, I said, that's interesting, but nah. And I remember just being like, I almost said, let me go talk to him because he's a really cool guy. He's kind of weird, but like I would have talked to him and I probably would have bought some at that point. And I just fucking did it. And I remember thinking a few years later, if I'd just been early crypto, so now I'm in the same position. And I'm like, okay, I'm really fucking early to NFTs. I'm like, I need to take every single yes and try and go down every single path I can go down because I don't know where they're going to go. And I don't know what's going to pay off in 5 years. I don't know which decision I make is going to be the most important one in 5 years, 10 years, because I might make one video that gets me hired by Nike in 5 years. You know, like I made a video about Ugaverse in the beginning of my journey, the very, very beginning, before anyone knew who I was. I made a YouTube video called Question I Have for Ugaverse. That one video that got 250 views got me a job on a full-time job on a Web3 company, which propelled me straight into the NFT world because now I have all the freedom and time to go do NFT stuff. If I hadn't made that one video, I would never have done the reviews. I would have never gone full time. And I'm like, dude, that's where my head is at.
I think you're right. I think also, you know, to build relationships and, you know, actually pick up the phone or whatever, you know, the WhatsApp phone or Discord voice and speak to people and get to know people. I think that the difference between Web 2 and Web 3 is Web 2 have been through recessions before and know that they're going to come out the other side. Right. Web 3 has been through a few bear markets, but
not really,
there's always there's always that thing like, will it actually go to zero? Right. Yeah. So we know that the world's not going to go to zero long term. You know, it's just not possible. There's too much innovation. We know that it might be a year of hardship or whatever, but we'll come out the other side because we've been through enough of them. I would imagine in the 1700s where they had a shortage of cows and they couldn't eat for a month, they must have all thought they were going to die in that recession, right? And so every time it comes around, so that's the difference. And I think that's what makes it so volatile is that the fear is a lot more than in real life, right? You know, we know recession will come and go in real life. Will crypto recover? Will NFTs recover? And the truth is that a lot of clever people are not 100% sure, and a lot of big fans of the space and technology, like me, are not 100% sure. Yeah. Like I'm 95% sure that we're going to have another bull and it's going to be bigger than the last one and mass adoption will come and more new people will come in the space again. I'm like 95% sure. But as this bear market continues, it goes from 100% to 99.9 to I'm now about 95. Whereas in real life, I have no doubt that like the recession will come and go, and that's the difference. So the Web 2 companies are happy to invest in this stage, whether it be in NFTs or whether it be in more TV adverts or more billboard adverts. They don't care. The big brands have got the marketing budget. They know they're going to come out. The question is, like, do we have that equivalent in Web 3? And
with NFTs
or brands coming in.
Well, okay, yeah. I was gonna say, like, when you look at the crypto, bull run to bear run, like every time we see Bitcoin pump up and then the crash, right? It crashes really, really, really fucking hard. And then that's why in my head, I'm like, I don't know why people are so alarmed that NFTs are also going down. I'm like, guys, what do you expect? Of course it's going to go down.
No, because if crypto crashes, like when we saw Ethereum go to $1,000, NFTs crashed. Then Ethereum went up to 1,700 and NFTs crashed more because guys thought, let me sell quickly because it's worth more ETH. So whether it goes up or down, NFTs are going down.
Well, but the thing is, crypto's been around for years, right? We look at the first few, like ETH goes to a few $100, whatever, but then crashes down to like $10. Right, like I feel like that's where we're at with NFTs. Like 80%, NFTs crushes, but in the next 10, but in 10 years, like the idea of crypto was still here after. Even though ETH crashed to $10, eventually the idea of Web3 is there. And in my head, the reason I haven't dove into crypto content is because in the long term, I still see the online communities. I just like that's why I haven't gone nerd mode in crypto, because I think there's way more opportunity and interest in the NFTs cultural side. Like I think cultural references, trending stories, that's where NFTs fit really, really well into. And people have a better chance of going into NFTs than they do crypto, in my opinion. It's way more interesting. It's way more fun. The digital online community aspect of everything is what makes it different. And in my head, I'm like, it's gonna we're in the first year basically of NFTs. I mean, people say it's been around since 2017, but not really. It's really been around for like a year, right? And so in my head, I'm like, we are at the most volatile moment ever of all time for NFTs, because we saw that massive bull run. But in my head, I'm like, the idea of NFTs and online digital communities will be here because they've been here forever. The beginning of social media had that.
But in what shape and form?
Who knows?
So that's the risk. That's the point.
True.
That's the risk. You might spend $20,000 on an Ethereum NFT that at the moment is worth $20,000, thinking that in time it will be worth at least $20,000, but hopefully more. And it could end up that Solana is really where NFTs end up being, the Google of NFTs is actually Solana, or another stupid Cardano or something, or one that we haven't even heard of that ends up being the mainstream NFT platform, and then all that you've put into the ETH NFTs or Solana NFTs or Cardano. So that's where the fear comes in. So yes, I agree with you that NFTs are in the future. Blockchain is 100% in the future, but to what extent and on what platform we don't know, and that adds to the risk of deploying real money. And I think that's why we're seeing a lot of people with money to spend sitting on the sidelines. Because it's sort of like, it's a mixture of a lot of different stuff, but it's like, let's see where this goes, let's see, or whatever. But, people aren't as comfortable to drop the money that they were dropping 4 months ago by any stretch. I guess
in my head, I'm not really speaking too much to the traders. Like you holding a doodle, for example, for 5 years. That's not what I mean when I say like they'll come back and they'll be bigger and stuff like that. When in my head, I'm more talking about the industry as a whole. And so, it makes better sense to be a trader right now, like to get in and get the fuck out, because you don't know who's going to be here. And the ones you decide to hold, I think, matter more about the online community and where you see the community headed rather than, and that's also dictated by the brand. So like in my head, like I would rather be in the Wolf Boy Social Club because I like the people in there, and the chances of that community surviving is, in my head, is higher than another project where maybe the floor is a bit higher, there's more volume, but the community is not there, because I just don't see the longevity there if the community doesn't somewhat give a shit,
The honest truth is there's a lot of good projects, decent projects. I'm not talking like the blue chips, with great communities that are really, really struggling, struggling. And I'm not just talking from a floor price perspective. I'm just saying, like, the founders are being completely open with them and saying, we love you guys, like, with all our heart. But there's no budget to deliver. Yeah. There's no money to deliver anything to you. And the community is still there and still happy and fine. But in the end of the day, like, that project without some sort of funding or another drop, which is failing when they try, it is eventually going to die, because the founders are going to need to go either start another NFT project or get a day job, because there's expenses. So community alone is not enough. True. Right? Nothing alone. You need a lot. You need a team that knows what they're doing, but not just in Web3, but also Web 2, that can build a sustainable business that has got cash reserves, that can hold it in good stead, whether it be a bear or a bull, so that they can deliver value at a measured level, not blow their whole $10 million budget at one time, at a measured value over the next 5 years, and make it last but still give real value, and think of innovative ways to deliver real value. But it's hard. It's really a tough time, because community alone is not enough, and team alone is not enough. And the two together is hopefully enough, but might not be either. Even the best team with the best community will struggle.
You give yourself a fighting chance too. Like, we're seeing projects moon out of nowhere after months of nothing. Like DGods had nothing for like 6 months, and then it's just like boom, 12 ETH. You're like, what the hell? Or like Utes, like go for like, or not Utes, like with as far as like the community was strong, the brand identity was strong.
Another example was Pudgy Penguins.
Exactly.
But those are few and far between, Cage. Sure, you look at Lazy Lions, you look at Cool Man's Universe. I'm saying the ones I know you like. And I could mention a million you look at Dead Fillers, you look at Smiles, those guys on the skateboards. You look, all of these were like incredible, and they're struggling, and the community's strong, and the team was good. And so there's very few that have actually been able to pump in this market. The OGs are in deep trouble.
Yeah, true.
Most of the OGs. I mean, Cool Cat's under 2 Ethereum.
That is crazy to me.
Yeah,
wait, I want to see what
it's horrible to see. No, I'm telling you, it's under 2 Ethereum. That's what it's at.
I just want to look at the floor. Actually, if they're really that low, I'm just going to keep.
I'm going to talk about Apecoin.
Yeah, go for it.
All right. So Apecoin DOA, is the Apecoin DOA at risk, right? So let me read this to you, and then I'm going to give you my thoughts on it. So Apecoin DOA Foundation claims DAO risks vulnerability without help. Apecoin's DAO recently submitted a proposal to extend its tenure by 3 months, which in and of itself this is my own comment, in and of itself, in my mind, is a problem, because you shouldn't really be moving the goalposts. And if you can extend your tenure indefinitely, it's almost like a head of state that says, okay, I'm going to be president for 4 years, and then it comes 4 years, and okay, let's just extend it another 4 years, right? That's a dictatorship. So that's part of what I'm not happy with here, but it's worse than that. So it's not supposed to be extended beyond the September the 30th, but they are trying to do it, right? And the DAO would fall into a vulnerable period during which it will lack actionable operational procedures. Members of the Bored Ape Yacht Club community have questioned this proposal, especially as the foundation members each received $125,000 for 6 months of service. So the proposal is that they extend the service, and people are correct in thinking that means that they're going to also be extending the compensation. So if they paid $125,000 for 6 months, if they extend it by another 3 months, is there going to be another $60,000 that has to be paid to each of these guys? On top of that, the other thing that's really worrying is that the signatories on the DAO were not elected, and this is again me speaking, were not elected by vote. They were put in place by the founders. They chose. So it's like, if I really trust Cade, and I've got my own selfish wants and needs at hand, and I say, okay, I say that Cade is running my bank account from now on, but it's not me. So you can trust that he's going to do what's in the best interest of you, but Cade's loyalty might very well lie with me. And after I say that, I pick up the phone to Cade and say to him, listen, transfer this, do this. So whether Cade's got the access to sending my funds or I do, I have access regardless. And that is the concern with how they put the guys in charge. And the whole thing about DAOs is that it's supposed to be by proper vote of the community, not by the founders. So a lot of questionable stuff going on, and a lot of people worried, including members of the Bored Ape Yacht Club community. The other thing that you do need to be very worried about with Apecoin at the moment, and this is something that was made very, very clear to everyone from the beginning, so this isn't anything nefarious, but something that you do need to be concerned about is when the unlock periods are happening, the various unlock periods for Apecoin. And some of them are happening quite soon. So when they launched Apecoin, there were different tranches that were launched, but said these will be locked up for 6 months. So the founders got certain amounts, and different people who had an interest got certain amounts of Apecoin, which they are not allowed to touch until a certain stage. And at different stages, that gets unlocked. And obviously, if you've been waiting a year and you get 1 million Apecoin and you feel like cashing it in and getting $5 million, you will be able to at certain dates coming up. So just make sure that if you are thinking of investing in Apecoin at this stage, that you're very familiar with when they get access to those funds, when the different tranches of funds get unlocked. That's really, really important as well. Again, here saying that the Apecoin board is exclusively investors, right? So guys who have put money in are on the board, and people are saying this seems a bit weird to have only board members with potentially adversarial motive to the rest of the DAO. So they want to see the community's response, and then a lot of people are worried. A lot of people are saying they can be trusted. So you've got things on both sides of the coin. Excuse the pun. Dear Apecoin community, our DAO governance, and this is where they're trying to extend it past 6 months, right? So lots of look on the flip side. This is new. Currencies within ecosystems, especially within NFT projects, is new. And yes, there are going to be teething things and things that they need to figure out. So I don't want this to come across too bearish. I'm actually very bullish on Yuga. And when they do launch other side, whether that be 6 months or 6 years, I do know that Apecoin is going to be pivotal into that economy, just like Sand is in Sandbox. And if other side is successful, like they hope it will be, Apecoin is going to go to the moon. I do know that. And there's a lot of ifs, but it will. And I think they will iron this out. So I want to give a balanced view, but there are definitely some things to be concerned about. Definitely.
Yeah, I'll give my thoughts on it. Like with other side, I'm not as bullish long term. I'm very, very bullish long term. Like I would love to buy a lot of Apecoin at $1 to $5, whatever, flip at 10 to 20 bucks, whatever it ends up being. I'm not bullish on holding to a potential like $100 Apecoin because I just don't know if people are going to choose the other side as the metaverse, where then if they do, then I'll be kicking myself because that coin will be worth, hundreds of dollars, whatever, and I'll be taking a massive L. But I just don't know. Like, I don't think that the Bored Ape Yacht Club brand is strong enough. I really don't. I see way too many civil wars happening in their comment sections every single time something happens that everyone's not excited about. When they're not being airdropped money for free, they're mad. And it's really annoying. And I don't think that brand is very strong.
Not getting money for free.
It's stupid. And I just don't think they have much else from their identity side. They always say, we're about the swamp. We're about this and that. And I'm like, no, I don't think you are. I think you were, but I think you got too far down the line of buying into celebrities and getting hyped up people. And I think when you go down that path too far, it becomes too far out of reach. And who's going to play in the other side metaverse, except for Bored Ape Yacht Club people? I just don't know. So
it depends. They have said they're going to make it completely inclusive. And if they do, I think that this whole, you've got people who love Bored Apes and you've got people who hate Bored Apes. That's it. There's no in between. Yeah. There's no one that really doesn't mind them, right? And you do have those two different camps. And it's always been like that. And that actually fuels the brand. That's number one. Number two, a healthy family, right? Say what they feel. Let's not pretend, fuck you, I disagree, Apecoin shouldn't have the DAO elected by them. They say what they feel. They get it off their chest. They say it publicly. They don't care. And then they go and hug and make up and carry on. So, the fact that you seeing people disagreeing in public and speaking their mind could also be a sign of just a healthy ecosystem. It's not like everyone's trying to fit in and scared to say what they feel.
It would be healthy if all of them did come from like an entitled perspective when they complain about it. It's a very entitled feeling.
People who like apes and people who don't. Listen, I've got nothing as far as being in that Discord. I've got a mutant and a kennel club, but I've never actually spent time in any Discords a lot of time because I don't, except for my very first project, or where I bought NFTs and then started working in it, or when I've been community manager in projects. Other than that, I don't. Unfortunately, I'd love to hang out, but I don't hang out in Discord. And I don't really care who has apes or who not. I mean, you just have to look at the OpenSea's top trending collections at any point of time. And within the top 15, 5 of them are Yuga Labs, whether it be CryptoPunks, Meebits, Bored Ape Kennel Club.
It's within this niche, right? It's within, while NFTs are so niche and culty, right? Where there's only like a 1.0001% of Earth is like in NFTs right now, right? So because of that, when the metaverse becomes a thing and people are choosing which metaverse to jump into or whatever it ends up being at that point, there will be hundreds of millions of people potentially going to be in it. So when the hundreds of millions, when the millions of people come into the world of metaverse stuff, right? At that point, will Yuga still be at that level for the normal person, or will it only be number one for us? And that's why my bet is it stops.
No one knows, but I don't know that it will stop. I don't know that it will even start. I mean, we don't even know if we're going to get a proper metaverse. However, if you're saying, okay, where is the metaverse going to be mass adopted? You would need to start in a Web3 community because we are more like amenable to being in a metaverse. And guys who are interested in NFTs are more likely to go into a metaverse than a guy that's just sitting on the internet all day and has never bought an NFT, has never been to the sandbox, has never heard of Decentraland or anything like that. So you're saying, okay, how do we get the most amount of people to initially be in a metaverse and experience it? You want to do it through a community like an NFT community. Who's the best one to do it? The biggest, the most successful, which is Yuga, and they've got the biggest budget to do it. So I think as far as saying, okay, who's got the best chance of actually making something that's really valuable and nice to be in, and also guaranteeing that you'll have a couple thousand people in there at any stage, I would look to NFTs, and then I'd say who's the biggest NFT, and that's your best chance in the initial stages of getting it there.
Yeah, it's possible. There's so many different avenues you could go, and in 10 years, we don't know who will be here. Like a random, like Microsoft could jump in and say, "Fuck it, we change our mind. We're going to take charge," and they could be the ones who build out the metaverse. And if that happens, then it's not going to matter which NFT you hold. And it just depends. We don't know. What I think is crazy is people who actually think the metaverse won't come. That's fucking nuts. That's beyond me how people don't think that'll happen, because we're in a world right now where we already live 90% of our life in our head, and then 75% of the stuff in our head stems from things on social media. So the fact that we think in 100 years, 200 years, a technology-driven world is not going to move into a world where we can spend a larger portion of our time in a more developed digital world, which is just a more developed social media, which will just inevitably, because technology exists, we will always move into something more innovative. That to me is crazy. Now, whether or not NFTs trading these PFPs will be a thing, I don't know about that. But the fact that people don't think we're going to move into a metaverse style world is crazy to me. I'm like, guys, 20 years or no, 15 years ago, we thought we were going to be having flying cars and stuff, and that kind of thing will happen at some point. But to think we're not going to go more digital than today is crazy to me.
I agree, but I don't think that it's going to look like what people think it's going to look like. So what I mean is, like, the way I picture it is, I sort of think like I say, anything that I'm doing on the internet at the moment for leisure, like not for work, anything I'm doing on the internet at the moment, I'm going to have a better experience. It's going to be more virtual, more 3D. So for example, if I go to Nike.com and I buy a hoodie, and now I'm going on the internet, I'm typing Nike.com and I'm buying a hoodie. Here, I imagine that I'd still go to like an internet, so it doesn't have to be a single metaverse. I'd still go to Google, be able to type Nike, and then I'd have an option to be able to walk around the Nike store virtually, that particular website that I'm on, and potentially try things on and look at it with VR glasses. And then once I've bought my hoodie online, I would then go out of that and carry on. So it's the same way if I went online shopping for groceries. I would be able to virtually push a cart, or I wouldn't even need a cart, walk down an aisle and pick what I want and look at it, and potentially that's how I see it. So I don't really see it as a yes. So I spend 20 minutes a day just checking Facebook to see, because I'm old school, to see if any family or friends has had a birthday or whatever. Spend maybe 10, 15, 20 minutes max a day checking Facebook. Okay, now I would go into the Facebook metaverse and I'd be able to check my messages like that. And, oh, it's Kate's birthday. I could then DM him and actually see him face to face. Happy birthday, my brother, and move out. But I don't see it as being one place. I see it as being just like you go to a different website for what you need, so too here. So the most exciting and the most obvious to me, if the way I perceive it is anything correct, would be Google. Google are the guys who will do it.
Because the easy transition from them.
They are that's where everyone checks for everything.
Sure.
So they will be that. Now, then if you start thinking about it like that, you then think, okay, hold on. These guys have been mapping the world for the last 15 years. They've been making 3D renders. I reckon they are quietly building the complete metaverse that you can literally go on Google, same way you do, and maybe not type, but literally say, okay, I want to see, India.
Yep.
And literally with your VR glasses, they're busy mapping the world, bro. That's not a mistake.
I agree.
So I think fuck Yuga, fuck Sandbox.
Maybe they'll buy Yuga. They might buy Yuga or own them at some point.
Facebook, or none of it matters. Google.
Sure.
Google are the guys, and I have no doubt that they're working. I mean, I don't have any inside knowledge. It just makes sense, because that is the hub that everyone goes to for information. So that's where everyone would be. If a metaverse had to launch tomorrow that was successful, it would have to be Google.
I agree. And let me build on that even further, because the world that you were talking about that you don't think will move into maybe a Ready Player One, here's my rebuttal to that. In 20 years or something, when the metaverse like that could potentially be possible, 20 to 50 years, right? The people who are participating are 9 years old right now. They are growing up with social media. They're growing up with all this stuff. They're used to NFTs already. They're trading NFTs in middle school probably, or high school or whatever, right? But they're going to be the ones who are middle-aged building this stuff because they're working in the industry, because all they've seen online is, oh, I can work in this world. I don't have to do this kind of stupid thing. I can do this, working in innovation. And I think everyone wants to work in innovation if they can, because it's interesting and it's fun. And I think all these kids that grow up playing these video games, I think at some point we have to, I mean, maybe it'll start how you were talking about, where it'll just be like you go into these different websites, but it's like a little virtual experience. And I think that just goes quick, and like innovation triples, or like whatever the numbers are, like triples every 7 years or whatever. And I think we go into this world where it's like, wow, this is really cool. I can go into Nike.com, but I can see everything like as if I'm actually there. And then like 2 years later, it's like, oh, Nike opens up its little playground area. And then we just like quickly move into stuff because it gets commercialized immediately. And then someone wants to be the number one. So they're all working really hard. And I think that just gets pumped fucking money. And I think before I'm dead, at least I hope, I'm 20 something, I think we'll be living in a very fucking Ready Player One style world. Maybe not that level, but I think we'll be in that kind of thing. That's just my thought.
Yeah, listen, I think the guy who at the moment, and forget where you work, at the moment spends his leisure time online, will spend his leisure time in the metaverse in 10, 15, 20 years. Someone who loves hiking and walking and is outdoors, and that's what he does with his leisure time, will still be doing that outdoors. I don't think like it's, the whole everything. But yeah, I mean, this is the internet of the future in some form.
Yeah.
And that's why that's why I'm so bullish on Google, even though Google hasn't said anything and there's no Google
when
NFT,
Google NFTs.
Yeah, damn straight.
That dude, what do you think so say they drop a 7,000 collection, 7777. Google drops a 7777 collection. What does that, and it mints for 0.08 ETH because they hired us to make sure they don't make any mistakes. Google drops a collection of 7,777. What does that floor go to? A Google NFT. Does that get flipping?
It depends on it depends. Typically, I'll hold it, but it does depend on the roadmap. If they're
going to build a metaverse, bro. They're building the whole metaverse.
Then first of all, they can mint it a lot more than, even in this market, they can mint it a lot more than 0.08. And second of all, I'm buying as many as I can, because I really believe that, just like I believe that Nike is almost the perfect fit for avatars in the metaverse and games. Yeah. So too do I believe that Google is the perfect fit for the metaverse.
What percentage would you start to go in? What percentage of your portfolio, your entire portfolio, stocks, everything included, would you move into that?
Stocks in Google. No, I've told you, I would never put more than 5% of my real money into this play at all. Because to have too many eggs in one basket is not good. I like being diversified, let alone, like, if you just talk about shares, not just tech, but there's healthcare, there's military, there's like there's oil, there's like, I like to be diversified, and at different stages of the world, like recessions, not recessions, different things perform well and other things don't, so that it equals itself out. So I would never go more than 5% into NFTs or crypto of my portfolio ever, no matter who it is, because that's just irresponsible. I might regret it, because it could be Google and it could be the next big thing, but they could try and they could fail, and then I'm left with absolutely nothing. So I would go 50%, and I would probably sell everything and just put it all in Google.
Selling your Clone X? Selling that Clone X?
No, not so. Nah? All right, so 4%. But no, I'd be bullish on it. I'd be because especially if they play as metaverse, right?
Yeah. What do you guys think? If you're in the chat right now, leave us your thoughts, and we'll keep going.
Let us know. Yeah, let us know. All right. Then we've got, keeping with Apecoin, we've got Gordon Gona. He's saying that there's going to be a mixture of a physical and digital Ape Fest in 2023. So I think that's really cool, because why not? They'll probably use the other side as part of it. And I think that that's really the way to go. So I'll just read this to you so you get the information direct from him. Bored Ape Yacht Club co-founder Gordon Gona suggests that ApeFest 2023 should be both digital and physical. The proposition happened after an exchange on Twitter between Improbable, co-founder, and those are the guys who are building the metaverse, and CEO Herman Narula, Bored Ape Yacht Club member GratefulApe.eth, and Bored Ape Yacht Club co-founder. Gordon Gona tweets about a physical and digital metaverse. Imagine the next Ape Fest for the people that can't get into the in real life venue will be held on the other side meta. That would be sick. And I agree, because I can't get in. I'm not prepared to leave my family to go to the States alone and be, I'm just not. So I'd love to be able to do that. So I think that that's really, really cool. And it's showing, and it follows on so nicely, Kate, from what we were talking about. It just shows like, here's a great application of the metaverse. So he's saying, look, he thinks physical is the best, but there's a whole community of people that can't get there physically for whatever reason. So let's give them an experience as well, right? The digital experience where they're sort of there with us, but not there, but getting that experience. And that's really where I see initially the metaverse really taking off is, let's say you've got a favorite singer or musician and you can't make it to their concert, wherever that is in the world. You'll be able to join virtually and see, yes, it's not as nice as it would be to be standing there with them. And I don't think it ever will be. And no matter what the metaverse is like, I don't think it ever will be as nice as standing in the front row, watching in person your favorite artist. I really don't think it will ever be better, but it will definitely be better than not being there at all or watching it on TV.
And dude, there will be an NFT at NYC 2023, but I don't know who's gonna be there other than Bored Ape Yacht Club. To be totally honest, like I don't know what's gonna be like.
No, there will be.
Hopefully, I hope so. We'll see what happens. The good thing is, the one thing I will say about
it will be a different lineup to what you had this year for sure.
Agreed. The good thing about Bored Ape Yacht Club, that the one thing I will say, even though I talk a lot of shit about them, because you have to when they're the best, right? The one thing I will say is that they try fucking hard. They put in a lot of work, they put in a lot of effort, and they want to change the world. And so because of that, I have to show respect there. And then one thing I was going to mention, I forgot to tell you about this yesterday. Go back to the thumbnail real quick. So with these, something I've just picked up after doing lots of research on social medias and stuff, right? So I did a couple courses on like thumbnails and titles and stuff. The one thing I was going to say is with your thumbnails and your titles, the titles are a bit too descriptive. And I'm not trying to say go and be clickbaity as fuck.
You're 100% right.
Yeah, a little bit clickbaity. And then also the thumbnail shouldn't mirror the title. Is what I've been trying out. It's actually been working really well. The thumbnail should complement it. So if the title is Gordon,
so what would you do here?
Take out all the words, 100% of the words, except for 2023, and then maybe NFT NYC or something, like put something like that. But just make it very plain, like
or just Ape Fest 2023,
yeah, something like that. But you don't need
and
a
have
whole
the
lot.
guy visit. Yeah. So what's funny is Bianca actually said to me with this one, it's too many words.
Yeah,
with this one specifically.
Well, no, just in general, like a lot of the thumbnails have a lot of words on it to describe it, but it's already described in the title. Right. And plus, like with the title, so your goal isn't to describe the entire video. The title is there to get someone to click the video.
So what would you do here for Bowie on the blockchain?
What's the title going to be?
Say, well, David Bowie's releasing NFTs or whatever.
You don't even maybe need any words. Just have the picture of Bowie, or just keep Bowie somewhere in there, but it shouldn't be covering the face or anything. But I mean, keep it there. Make your face bigger. Enlarge yourself by maybe 15%, and then make yourself really clear. And then the background, put a 0.5% Gaussian blur, just to make yourself a little bit more stand out from the background. Your background should be a little bit blurred, And then I think that's really the secret. Just a little bit less. Than more.
A lot less. I think a lot less words.
Yeah.
I think you're 100% right.
But yeah.
Thank you. I appreciate it, man. Send me an invoice for the advice. I respect it. No, I do. I respect it a lot. I agree. I'm going to
because your videos are great and you offer a lot of value. It's just like, it's annoying when I see myself and you and all these NFT YouTubers trying really hard. And like part of it is because people just aren't looking up the stuff. But at the same time, there's other things where I'm like, there's just little tweaks there that would get more people the attention that they deserve, because you're putting in lots of effort and stuff like that. It's just like, for me too, the same thing. So yeah, we're grinding out here. So
yeah, and I'm always never too old to learn, right?
Facts.
For shizzle. All right, so let's just talk about Bowie. David Bowie estate links up with name artist for NFT project. So it's going to be called Bowie on the blockchain. It will feature works that incorporate artifacts pulled straight from the musician's archives.
They fucked you up.
It was working earlier. I must have read too much this month now.
Damn.
It's the first time it's happened. I'm not scared of buying subscriptions. Just
go incognito. Go incognito. Real quick.
That's what I'm just about to do.
See if we can hack the system here.
No, it worked earlier, so definitely. Yeah.
Let's fucking go.
Okay. So David Bowie estate's launching. The NFT project was spearheaded by his estate. The Web3 venture, this will get me a strike. Let's close that. We Love the Arts and the NFT marketplace OpenSea, where the sale will launch on September the 13th. So that's soon, hey? 4 days. All the profits will be donated to a non-profit organization. Bowie, of course, was an avid collector and admirer of art throughout his life. And now Andrew Keller, co-founder of We Love the Arts, credits the musician's estate for reaching out to get Bowie on the blockchain. The more you think about the crypto art space, the more you realize how ahead of his time Bowie was with some of the ways that he engaged with his fans. Be it Bowie Art, Bowie World, Bowie Bonds, Bowie Net. Keller tells Rolling Stone in an email he also made digital art himself. I didn't actually know that. And so what excited me so much was the idea of making people aware of all of these things they probably don't think about or know about when they hear his name. And for me, it really became about solidifying his legacy on the blockchain and creating beautiful, meaningful art. Having our way was so important and really guided every piece in the process. What do you think?
I don't have too many thoughts on this, actually.
It's all being donated to charity, so you can't say it's a cash grab in any way. He's saying that, you know, there are actually digital artworks of Bowie's already in existence that no one has seen, and they feel it will give depth. It will give depth to him to show that he was ahead of his time. I think it's great, especially if you're a fan. You know, if you're a fan and you've got art from someone who's passed on, like, I don't know, do you like Michael Jackson?
I guess. Like, I don't have anything, like, whatever.
We're such a different generation. It's hilarious. I love Michael Jackson. And my dad used to love Elvis, and I never liked it. I mean, you would hear my dad coming home from a mile away. He would have his Elvis pumping. I swear to God.
That's funny.
He really loved it. And I was like, in my old school was...
But we don't have that now. Like, we have social media. Like, there's so many people who blow up all the time. It's like there's not like one person for my generation. Maybe like Eminem or something, or Drake. But in my head, there's so many people. Eminem. So yeah, Eminem's dope. Eminem would probably be that for me, even though I don't have that big of a tie to him. But you know what's interesting that you bring this up, this concept. I screenshot this earlier from Thread. Do you follow Thread guy, the Mutant Ape guy?
Yes, I do.
So he just put this tweet out earlier today. He said the next blue chip NFTs are focused on storytelling. Value from interactive content and community engagement has never been more obvious. Storytelling enhances both. Don't miss this wave too. And I screenshot this because I've been saying this since like fucking August of last year. But it's true. The best projects right now are focusing on that. And the best projects that will exist in 10 years will be the ones that focused on it for the last 10 years. So it's a good point. And I think projects that do that are bullish. And that's why I'm bullish on my brand, because my brand is built on that and storytelling. That's something I focus on and talk about, especially like podcasts and stuff. And so I think it is really, really important. And that's a good thing. And I think the more we have of that kind of story, like what Bowie's doing right now, is better than some cash grab bullshit from Kevin Hart or from, what's his name? Floyd Mayweather.
And the other thing, Kate, I think I've mentioned it to you before, is that one in business can always pivot as well. So if you have a brand, The Joyage, that you've looked after your community, which you have, and on top of that, you've got the name out there with different merch and whatever. And in 2-3 years, if you want to pivot, I'm not saying you have to. I'm just saying if you want to pivot and make the Joyage, maybe a creative studio or a social media company, where whatever, you can once you've got that. Like when COVID hit here, Percal, my company, is corporate gifts, promotional products. When you go to a conference, a work conference, and they've got those bags that are branded and the lanyards that are branded and the notebooks and pens that they give you and the rulers and all that shit that they give you, that was our business.
Damn, that's dope, dude. That is cool to hear you say it like that, though. Until
COVID hit, and there were no conferences for 7 or 8 months. Nothing, gone. But we've got a database of 35,000 people that we send mailers out to. It's now 35,000 people. Okay, we've got relationships with customers and companies, and whatever, and we pivoted. We pivoted. We went straight into PPE. We did display, which is like gazebos and banners, because everyone, like the government, needed these stations to test people and roll out vaccines. And we pivoted overnight. And we were able to do really, really well during COVID. Yes, there was a break of a couple of weeks while we were busy changing and pivoting, and we were, my staff were all at home and I was at home. It wasn't easy. But we sent mailers out to our database, and we sold more in PPE than we used to do in corporate gifts for those couple of months that had happened. And now we're back to corporate and promotional gifts. My point to you in light of what you were saying is 100% correct. Focus on looking after your customers in whatever you do. Be true to yourself. Don't skimp and don't give shit merch. And like you're doing, do everything properly and build people's trust. And you can do whatever you want with that brand, whatever you need to going forward.
Yeah, I agree.
I think that's a really important lesson.
Yeah, that's a really, really good point there.
And then also you worries less about whether this is the right path or not, because as long as you're delivering value and being honest and true and building a community and building trust, you can change the focus of that.
Yeah,
it doesn't. So you don't have to worry. That little 1% chance in your mind. Is NFTs really the future, or 0.01% chance? Doesn't matter. Keep doing what you're doing, and if you need to change in a year, if everything goes to shit, you'll change.
Yeah, that's a great piece of advice. And I think I got lucky with the fact that the Joyage has like a noun version, which is the Joyager. And the Joyager is the one who surfs the waves and moves with the tides and does what they need to do to continue evolving. So it's perfect for branding for myself. And so I'm really excited because I don't know what the world will be like. I mean, I'm confident that digital communities will be a thing. And in that sense, the Joyage Kingdom is perfect because we'll have the Joyager. Everyone's a Joyager. Everyone's working hard, trying to do their thing. And whatever it ends up being that we go down trying to conquer, that'll just be what it is. And we just continue surfing. So I'm really excited. That's a good real life example, though, for you to bring up with the business. Yeah. That's really cool.
100%. All right. Over 3,600 crypto trademarks filed in 2022 alone.
Wow. Jesus.
So that's quite bullish. So if you have a look here, if you look at the timeline here, January there were 480 filed, February 530, March 604, and obviously they've been decreasing because we're in a bear market, but in total 3,516 in all of 2021, and already in 2022 3,600. So even though we've had, like most of the years, been a bear market, there's been more crypto trademarks filed this year than ever before. And that goes on to what you were saying, Cade, earlier, that we're still seeing Web2 businesses coming in the space. We're still seeing venture investment, and this is backing that up because this year, despite most of the year, except for January, has been a bear market of some degree. There's still 3,600, the most US trademarks ever have been filed for digital and cryptocurrency related items. So that's important. I think that's a really good statistic.
Yeah, we need to talk about that kind of stuff more. That stuff needs to be more of like a thing that people realize. Like that. So for example, like when I make content that's more casting a wider net to a bigger crowd of people, that's the type of statistic I'll throw in the middle of the video, just so that whoever's watching is like, oh, like maybe crypto isn't as bullshit as I thought. That's crazy that people are bothering to file trademarks, which is a very, very formal thing to do, a legal thing to do, and a step into a more legitimate setting,
Yeah, and it does go back to what we said, that Web2 companies are not scared. They're building for the future. I mean, you look at Facebook or Meta or whatever you want to call them. They've been spending tens of billions of dollars every year on the metaverse, knowing that they're not making anything from it. It's like, and now, they will make in the future. They're happy to invest. You think of a car manufacturer. Before they can roll their first car down the road, to build a factory of cars is like so much money and so much time and the workforce and whatever. They invest today for tomorrow. And we are seeing Web2 still investing heavily today for tomorrow, more into crypto, more than their digital assets, rather, instead of crypto, more than they've ever done before in their whole in the history. So we are getting mass adoption from a company perspective, which is good to see.
Yeah,
right?
I like that. I think that's a really, really good point. These are things I haven't really thought about till like today, honestly. Like the way we're talking about it is making my brain think a little bit. It's making my mind like race because I'm like, oh, that's all these new video ideas I'm thinking about. I'm like, this is lit.
But that's how, when I'm reading the stuff, that's what I'm thinking, which is like everyone's got their own experience, right? And everyone's got so I'm business minded. I really am. I like that is so I'm looking at this from a corporate perspective, just naturally, right? And it makes sense to me. These companies are investing in it. That's it. They know that they're not going to get returns now.
Yeah, as from a strictly corporate, so maybe barely tap into your Web3 perspective here. From a corporate perspective, where would you say if someone asked you they want to get in the Web3 space, they're not a content creator, where should they start as far as like inserting themselves? Are you still going to go and say like you should be a mod? Like in a bear market, I feel like the answer maybe changes a little bit.
So someone wants to come into Web3.
Yeah, like where would you say they should allocate their time and energy if they want to work in Web3, and they want to somehow?
It depends what they want to do in Web3. It's so broad. If they want to be creative in Web3, then content creator, thing like that, I would say reach out to guys like you, attend spaces with influencers, even just attend and let them see you. Like we saw Cade Dikenzas used to come on I haven't seen him for a couple of weeks, but I'm sure, maybe he's on holiday, but he used to come into every single stream that we held, both of us individually and ours together. And it always just say hello. And then all of a sudden, he airdropped both of us his NFT. We didn't even know he had an NFT. And then we ended up talking about him and telling everyone and showing them his project. He never contacted us. And now we're talking about him again. So for a creative who wants to get his work out there, that's a good way to do it. If you want to be a community manager, then I would suggest the mod route is the way to go, because that's how you're going to learn communities and be a community manager. If you want to be it just depends what you want to do. If you want to be a developer, like do contracts, then get to know that. You can learn offline. You don't need to learn in a Discord. Like get to know development, and then again try and find a developer who you can work for without them paying you to begin with, and do the work for them, because you're going to make a lot of mistakes, and let him be a mentor and let him teach you, and then he'll be more than happy to give you a referral for a paid job when you're ready. So it depends what you want to do. If you want to be an artist, then get to know community, get to know founders. If you want to be an alpha caller, then get to know all the collab managers. Just depending on what you want to do, just people is the answer. Surround yourself with people.
That's a really good thing
that are doing that.
Or how about this? How about a content creator like myself? I have found ways to make money off it, but if you're a content creator, what do you think are the best ways they can make money?
Create content.
Well, okay, so how about this? You're making content, you're getting a few, like for example, maybe say for yourself, you're 18, you're in your position making the videos you're making right now, but you don't have your day job, and you don't have your business, but brings in lots of money. So you're making a little bit of money. Maybe you're bartending, or you're working a serving job. You're making zero money from content. What do you think are some streamlined ways you can start to monetize? Because I'm trying to think about that too. So I'm thinking about making a video on this too, because I've found ways to make money with my reviews and some of my connections and stuff. But if it wasn't me, and if I wasn't making any money from content, these are things I would have to think about too. I'm trying to think what I would
you would be the better person to give that advice than me. You've been doing this longer than me.
Yeah.
I only know one way. In Web 2 or Web 3 is just continue, like just push. So with Perkel in the beginning, I just continued loading products on that website until we got to 80,000 unique products. I'm not joking. 80, because that's not including size and color. There's over 1 million products if you take the clothing and say each SKU. But just the idea that someone will look and find something they can't find somewhere else. So the only way I know how to do it, and again, I'm not doing this content stuff with YouTube to make money. So, and you need to. So it's a different thing. But so all I would do, and all I know, is just to put content out there, unique content as much as possible. Like you said, that one video that you did for Ugaverse ended up being a job for you. I would just sit there making content all day, publishing videos on every platform. That's the only way I know how to do it, is just go hard in what you're doing. So yeah, I mean, for me, this is just really about being an authority in the space. So from the, not for the I'm so great, for the chance that one of my existing clients in the real world wants an NFT going forward, we are already doing their marketing, we're already doing their clothing, we're already doing their branding, we're already doing their gazebos. I want to be able to be an authority in the space that I can say, look, I've been making videos on this stuff for the last 5 years. I've got my own community. We can help you with your Web3, whatever that is, whether that be an NFT or whatever. That's really the long-term play here, is to get to know the space and to learn and to build relationships and whatever. But the main thing is to really understand the space so well that I can offer it as a service to my existing clients, knowing that I can do it, because I don't want to offer them a service and end up not getting their clothing order because I fucked them on the NFTs by mistake. So I would never send a mailer out to my database in Web 2 saying I'm a proficient Web3 guy until I really know what I'm doing.
Gotcha.
But when I do, I will send out that mailer and I'll get some of the biggest brands in the world into Web3. We're the sole supplier to BP, to Siemens, to Asahi, which is Grolsch, Pirelli, like Pirelli tires, like big brands, right? So, I won't tap into that until I really know. So I'm building relationships with contract developers. I'm building relationships with guys like you. I'm building relationships with everyone, so that no matter what a client of mine in real life needs, I can either refer them onto someone or provide the service myself.
Yeah, that's a fucking great way. That's a great way to put it. And the only thing I'll add there, like literally the only thing I could add there, is probably niching down when you can. Like if you have an opportunity to dive all into, like if, for example, Easton, one of my friends, dove all in on Elrond. He was like, look, I understand there's other blockchains. I like Elrond. I don't know why. Maybe they like me more over there. Maybe I have a certain vibe, whatever. So he just dove straight into Elrond. And I was like, man, there's like less opportunity. There's less volume. Like, why are you doing this? Fast forward a few months, man's working full-time Web3 on a team as a community manager and a couple other positions because he niched down into Elrond. With less opportunities, less money, less attention, he still found a way because it's more niche. He was able to make those genuine connections with people and put himself in the right places, and he crushed it. And I was like, that's a good point. Like, that's part of the reason I'm going to niche down a little bit, make some Elrond-specific videos, some Solana-specific videos, because who knows who might see that video and they might say, hey, fuck, we really like what you had to say. We like your influence. We like your perspective, whatever the fuck. And they say, do you want to work on X project with us, or do you want to do this for us, or whatever? So I think it's your answer was perfect.
Narrow your focus, and exactly that. Like, choose what you want to be in and focus on that. Yeah.
And just keep doing.
We've got Aaron here. I had this question in my Discord earlier.
Yeah.
So I don't know if you're aware, Cade, and I don't know if our viewers are aware. But I'm going to pull it up here. Gutter Cats launched a teaser today on their Twitter.
Random.
Let's just share my screen. No, not random. They're going to be doing an airdrop from the looks of it. So let's just pull up their Twitter and show you, and then let's try and answer.
Hypebeast wants to allow notifications, it says. Wait, so what's the floor on this one?
This is the clones.
What's
the floor is 0.2.
Oh. This
is the clones. So remember, they've got Gutter Cats, which is their main collection, and there the floor is about 6 Ethereum. Then they've got the dogs, the rats, and the pigeons as a sub-collection, almost like the mutants, right? Completely different, but almost like the mutants, a sub-collection. And there the floor is between 1.25 and 2 Ethereum. The dogs are the most sought after. And then they've got the clones, which is their lowest sort of level. But even within the clones, they've got the dogs, the cats. So you'll always see like the rats and the pigeons are the lowest, then the dogs, and after that, and then the cats are the most expensive. So the clones cover the full collection, right? So I just want to find that tweet for everybody. So this was their tweet over here. So it's got a lot of wording that's out. It's got a sort of DNA or infinity thing with the number 2, and then it's got a date. But if you look at the image that they dropped,
wow, that's cool.
Yeah, so it looks like money bags.
Yeah.
If you look at it.
Yep.
So everyone's thinking that it's going to be a token. Like an airdrop token.
Could be.
I mean, you can see the cat bag is the biggest because cat is their main one. but then they've got smaller bags for the different ones. So everybody seems to almost universally be saying and agreeing that they're going to be doing a token launch and they're going to be airdropping some tokens to their holders. So that's the background. So the question now is it a good time the day before this to be picking up a clone at this price? That's what
that's tough, dude. That's really tough.
So let's jump onto activity. And you can see here, as a result of this, look at that line, how many sales today?
Wow.
There have been 310 sales today.
Yes.
Whereas yesterday, where it might have been leaked a bit, because you can see it's still higher, there was 139, the day before 94, the day before 52, the day before 40, the day before 70. So the last 2 days, these have been pumping because of this. So where were they at the very bottom? They were 0.12 at the very bottom. Okay, so they're pretty much, like, just to make it simple, they've 2x, right? A little bit under. So the question now is, do you there's a dog, bro.
Wow. Whoa.
Let's just see if it's been stolen.
Are you about to snag that? You about to snag that right now?
You know when I go quiet.
You should. If that's, yeah, check that.
Well, it's not a cat, it's a dog.
Okay, hold on. Someone took an offer.
Yeah, someone took an offer, which is always and is now trying to resell it. I just want to see what's happened here. So there was a sale 13 hours ago, which is good. Then
they sold it for an immediate
transferred it. Hold on. Let me just concentrate here. There was a sale for 0.235 from Golf Cart to Support Monkey. Support Monkey transferred it here without. So that was an hour ago. So that could be that someone's wallet got hacked because there's no money attached. And then this person moved it from here, sold it to someone. So this is the transaction that we're concerned about. So let's just have a look at Support Monkey, because whenever they come on the floor and it looks too good to be true, you sort of want to check if it is too good to be true. And sometimes you lose the opportunity to snipe things, but I'd rather that than it get locked.
Yeah, it's almost never a decision.
So we know that Support Monkey is legitimate because he paid for it.
Yep.
And what's interesting is that he also
NFTs
bought
and stuff too.
Yeah, so we know he's legitimate. We don't know if this person is legitimate. So let's look at his activity. 23 minutes ago. It's not an offer. If he was trying to offload stuff, he's listed a lot of gutter stuff. So he could have, I don't know. I don't want to say stolen, but I mean, he could have. Stolen.
You could jump into Discord super fast and ask and see if there's anything in the general chat about someone being hacked.
No, I like to check it myself, because if the guy's not there at that time.
No, but people will be talking about it, maybe. Like, hey, don't buy this one, or someone got this thing hacked, or whatever.
He's been accepting offers on a whole lot of gutter stuff. I think this might be in the last 40 minutes, bro.
Yeah.
I think he might have hacked this poor person here.
Yeah.
And taken all of their gutter stuff and be offloading it.
Yeah, check out that activity.
Because look here, it's all been moved without payment. The other thing is that this could just be from a hardware wallet.
Yeah, dude, that could be just a fucking ledger and transferring it over
to a normal one, so it's hard to know for sure.
Hold on. Go back to the original NFT. Okay, so scroll down. This
is what we're concerned about here. This one here. An hour ago, it was transferred.
He bought it. Support Monkey bought it for 0.23. So say that's the ledger. He bought it and put it from the ledger at 0.23, immediately transferred it to another thing. And then
he didn't, because this was 14 hours. Let me make this bigger, bro. We're going down a deep rabbit hole here. This sale was 14 hours ago.
Okay.
Then an hour ago, it was transferred from Support Monkey to this B3, B45.
And then they accepted an offer for 0.1.
Straight away, they accepted an offer on it. Straight away.
Yeah, that sounds weird. That sounds weird.
Which is weird. And now the person who got it is trying to get rid of it. So
yeah.
This could be marked as stolen in the next couple of hours or whatever. That's what I'm saying. and it is unusual to have a dog on the floor. It really is.
Yeah, that one's really, really tough. I would,
because if you look, it's not a cat, but it's a dog, right? It would be more unusual if it was a cat. But if we just search here by, unfortunately, in the space, you do need to be concerned about stuff like this, because before you know it, your thing gets listed. You can't move it.
Oh, there's a few at 0.2 then.
Yeah.
That's the best one, though.
Which means this isn't. No, I quite.
Oh
like
wait,
that.
I didn't even notice that one. That one's really cool too.
And I like the suit guy also. I really vibe with this art. I mean, just a side point as to all of these are nice. I mean, look how sick this one is.
I don't really like bandana traits, so that's the only reason I don't care.
Bandanas. But I really like the colors of his face.
Yeah, that's a cool one. This
guy's a pilot.
I fucking hate pilots and sailor traits. I don't know why I hate them. I just don't like them.
There's another bandana. He has a like what steampunk.
Cool. That's cool.
Hat, but there's no color in it. I'm just saying in general, I really like this artwork. Like really. All right. So the question, back to his question, we really went down a bit of a thing. Is it worth buying clone? So the thing is this: you got to say there's no way they're going to airdrop you 0.2 value. There's no way, because they make us a commission on this. We can even check their commission.
I would say it's better to sell right now, not buy. Buying is a pretty risky play.
Yeah, your downside is that it goes back to the lowest it's been is 0.12. That's your downside, right? So you potentially lose 0.08. So then you got to say, for a clone, which is the lowest in their collection, what will the potential airdrop value be if you sell the airdrop value, if it is a token straight away?
Or what could it get to? Like, what could it get to before the actual airdrop?
I wouldn't hold it.
No.
Oh, yeah. I'm with you. Sorry, I thought you meant what could the token get to in value. I'm saying I wouldn't hold the token. I would cash that token out straight away.
Me too.
Right? We agree, hey? So look, there's 17,000 of these items. I don't know. It's so hard. There's so many moving things. What is the token value going to be? How much of that token are you going to get? How quickly can you then sell it and then sell the clone? Do you want to buy one long term? I would say now's not the time to buy. And I think Kate said the same thing. Now's the time actually to sell, if anything.
I agree.
Because you're not going to get the airdrop to the value of it's not going to be a 0.1.
It's got to be it's got to be a really, really well-known project to potentially do even. I mean, the airdrop's probably not going to be worth anything. Probably. It could be, but the chance of being not as worth it as buying for
it's not going to. It might be worth 0.03 for a clone.
Yeah.
I don't think it will be worth nothing, because then why are they doing it? They make themselves look worse. They're doing it to build the brand.
Correct.
So they very well might be happy to give back. This rat is nice. Listen, I just vibe with the art, but I really do. But now's not the right time to buy, in my opinion. Not financial advice. I would wait for the airdrop, wait a few hours after that, and pick one up at 0.1 if you just want to get in the ecosystem. And you'll probably be better off, because I doubt the airdrop on the clones would be worth more than 0.002. The real question is the main collection, where there's a lot less. So like gutter cats, or even the dogs or the rats, where there's only 2,000 or 3,000. That's really where there might be a better question. Because look here, this is their main collection. This is their only main collection. 6.5 ETH floor, and there's 3,000 of them. They will definitely want to reward, if there is a token airdrop. We don't even know. We're just looking at a picture and assuming. But if there is, these guys are going to get the most reward by far. By far. Not even from an Ethereum value, from a percentage of Ethereum value. So if you look at the dogs are 1.6. So let's say this is 4 times the amount, just to average it out. Your token will be worth more than 4 times the amount if you've got a cat than the dogs. There's no question. They want to look after their most OGs first. So this is, it just closed itself. This is more of a play for me.
I agree. It's just risky, dude. Like in a bull run, it's way better to take risks like that. It's just in a bear run like this, or I don't know.
But these haven't moved that much, Kate, because people don't want to spend this much. So I do watch the cats. It's on my watch list, which means every day I know the price of this. And I haven't seen them lower than 5.5 ETH ever in the last couple of weeks or months. Let's just have a look there. I mean, then there's been a lot of transactions.
Yeah.
But 6 point, this is all 6.6, even 6.5. Okay, 6.1, 5.6. Yeah, that must have been a mistake. 1.5 ETH, so shame. It's pretty straight line, except for that dip. That's definitely like a mistake.
Yeah.
There hasn't, even though there've been a lot of transactions, there hasn't been that massive jump in floor price. Look, I'm not getting one at this point. It's not, as you said, it's not the time to buy, but this would be more of a play. And the same logic applies. They're going to reward these guys more than they are the clones, a lot more proportionately. So first of all, you've only got 3,000 versus the clones where you got 17,000. And second of all, you will get more than 10 times your value by getting these. So I don't think the clones is a play if you're just doing it for the airdrop now. I think potentially some of these sub collections maybe.
Yeah, I just don't fucking really care about the style of face, like their smug look. I don't know what it is about the artwork. I don't care about it too much. But yeah.
So we're literally buying it to get the airdrop and then sell it.
I just can't believe those are selling for 1.3 Ethereum, bro.
But again, I mean, you've got these fucking things selling for 6 Ethereum.
Yeah. Wait, hold on. Who's in charge of Gutter Cats again?
They're a great team. They've been building, bro.
It's Gary V. That's not the same. That's Gary
what I'm
v.
trying to prove to you. Who cares what they look like? It's a good team.
No. It's not about the art. It's the fact that Gary V drew it that makes it okay. I don't know who the artist is for this. That makes it not okay.
This is not okay.
That makes it okay if it's Gary V. That's the reason it holds that value.
Okay. Hold on. I'm gonna draw you this fucking fish. This
is going to be an NFT. This is Philip's first ever NFT art piece. It's going to sell on auction. Minimum.
It's a derivative.
10
It's a derivative of Gary V.
Wait, you know what? I'm going to do it too.
We're going to call it.
Wait. Let's give ourselves like a minute and let's do this. Okay. If you're watching this live with us, we'd love for you to participate.
Are we doing it quick?
Yeah. Wait, hold on. Let's put a timer up.
Okay. If we spend more time on it, it can be better.
Oh, I mean, I don't know how. Okay, let's just do 2 minutes. 2 minutes.
No, 1 minute's fine. 1 minute's fine.
Okay, starting timer now. 3,
okay,
2, 1,
I've already
go.
Started.
Okay.
It's going to be called a Gary P. It's a derivative for Philip. It's a derivative of. Oh shit! You got to tell me how long we got left.
We have 45 seconds.
Oh fuck! I'm spending too much time on these lines. Okay, fuck that. I'm not coloring them in. How long we got?
30.
Oh, shit. And then, okay, it needs that. You got to tell me when we got like 10
20.
Or something left.
20.
Okay. I need that there.
$10.
Okay. Oh, shit. Okay, you can have an extra 5 seconds or something because I did start before you. So let me know when I'm... Okay, you carry on.
I have 10 seconds. Okay.
You not 10. I like 5.
All right. Cool. 4. I'm done.
Are you done?
I don't need any more. Now? Here we go.
Okay, hold on.
This is going to be an NFT reserve price 10 ETH. Oh, shit. Hold on. It's really bright.
Wow, yours is quite good.
Why is this so bright? Here, let me turn the brightness up. Oh, yours is terrible.
Let's see yours. Move it closer.
Hold on. Let me put my flashlight on so you can see. It's too bright if I use my actual light.
Hold on. Maybe if I hold him at an angle, it will make him look better.
No, I'm just kidding. These are both not so good. But you can see the Joyous Kingdom signature on mine.
Yours is much fucking better than mine. But that I copied his. You didn't copy his.
I copied it.
You did your own. You did
I copied it for the most part. But I did put I put his tattoo. He's got a neck tattoo, as you can see. The Joyous Kingdom design.
Your mouth and eye is better because you made a better one than his. Hold on. Let me show you next to this. Hold on. I don't know.
Can you bring it up?
I'm gonna have to. Okay, so that's mine compared. Mine's closer to. And then we'll do yours.
Yeah.
I don't know if I can actually. I'll have to remove me.
Okay. Wait. Hold on. One sec. Let me turn this off.
No, Cade, I've seen enough. I'll vote yours, bro. Yours is definitely better than mine.
That's funny.
Yours is definitely better than mine. I voted.
That was pretty funny. That was kind of fun to do.
Yeah, man. I'm a bit disappointed that I didn't win. But
I'm kind of proud of that fish.
Yeah, that's a good fish. The point is like they are a good team. They have delivered consistent value. They've announced a few really decent collabs and stuff, and not collabs, like proper brand deals and whatever. I think that they're a great ecosystem.
Yeah.
So it doesn't really matter if you love the art or not. There's just an opportunity to get in on their token drop.
True.
So is it worth buying in for that, whether you like the art or not?
Very true.
All right, Kate, we got one more story, man, and then your Uncle Phil needs to go to bed. Getting past. Okay, so Netflix bans crypto commercials. That's the headline. And then we've got Netflix bans crypto commercials on ad-based streaming service. We all know what Netflix is. So it's reportedly banned cryptocurrency-related commercials. Anything that was scheduled for November months has been cancelled.
Wow.
The Sydney Morning Herald reported Monday that Netflix has decided to reject all advertising campaigns related to politics. Okay, so it's a bit deceiving. It's not just crypto. Politics, gambling, and cryptocurrency.
Plus, Netflix doesn't really do ads. I'm trying to think of where these ads are. It's not like they play the ads.
I think when you pause, like if you're watching something and you push pause, then an advert does come up. If you push pause,
what?
It doesn't play. It's like it's like an image.
I did not know that. I'd never even noticed that. Is that really true?
Yeah. I've seen it before.
Fuck? Oh, okay. I'll just take your word for it.
They've got to advertise in some way. I mean, Netflix has moved up its timelines for launching cheaper support tier to November to complete Disney Plus. New subscription will go live on the 1st. With global subscribers declining in consecutive quarters, Netflix announced in July that it would launch a new ad-supported service to boost revenue. Second quarter, they lost 1 million paid subscribers. Due to regulation scrutiny, crypto bans are nothing new for digital asset industry. In 2008, Facebook banned crypto ads across its platform before reinstating them later in the year. In 2021, Google parent company Alphabet reversed a ban on crypto-related advertisements, allowing exchanges and wallet operators to again promote their services on the search engine. So it seems like they go through stages where they ban it and unban it and all the rest of that.
It just doesn't matter, bro. That stuff just doesn't matter. I mean, if we were in a bull run, they'd be doing it because of the attention. So the attention's gone, they're taking it away. It's like, whatever.
I love this. The riches are in the niches. So we're saying the gutter cats are going to possibly be a play, but the clone's not.
Yeah.
The riches are in the niches. I really like that.
That's funny. Damn, dude, we covered a lot of shit today.
Yeah, there was a lot of news, which again is bullish. The fact that so much is going on and there's so much news, and I was quite selective. I didn't want to just say there's a lot of news articles I just left out. So there's a lot going on in the space, which is great to see. To everyone who's joined us, thank you very much. Thank you for your support. If you haven't already, follow us on Twitter, like and subscribe. We also both have Discords. And if you've been watching to the end of the stream from the very beginning, your keyword is copycade.
Let's fucking go.
Cade. Guys, thank you. Have a good weekend. Be safe. Be kind. Ciao.
Like the video.